Hello and welcome to the ScrapbookPal YouTube channel. This is Colleen Beamish from Humor Bean Cards, and today I will be making a card featuring the Blooming Grace suite of products from Pinkfresh Studio. So I have the stamp set here, which has the beautiful florals and some sentiments, and then the coordinating dies and the stencils. This set also has a washi tape. If you're interested in not doing the coloring yourself, you can get the washi tape and die cut that out and use that on a card. But I won't be using that today. I'll be doing all of my own ink blending to color in the images. So let's go ahead and get started. I have a piece of heavyweight white cardstock here, and I cut it to the same size as the stencil. This will just allow me to line up the stencils perfectly each time. So I'm just taking some temporary tape adhesive and I'm going to stick this piece of paper down to my work surface. I just don't want the paper moving around as I am ink blending. So I'm lining up my stencil, again, just lining up the corners of the stencil with the corners of my paper. And then I'm using some low tack tape to stick the stencil to my work surface as well. So once I have everything stuck down, nothing should be moving around as I'm ink blending. The packaging for the stamp set, die set, and stencils all have a reference image on the back, so you know exactly which layers of the stencils color which images. So the first stencil colors the pink flowers in that reference image. But on mine, I'm going to be coloring it in a nice blue color. So I'm using Pinkfresh Studio Ocean Breeze ink. And then I have an Altenew blending brush. These blending brushes, I think, are my all-time favorite blending brushes. This is actually my first time using them. And they just put a very solid layer of ink down at once. And it covers a lot of surface area. So I like that this brush is flat. All the bristles are the same level. So the ink goes on very smoothly and you can kind of apply pressure to add more ink. I just am very impressed with these brushes. So I will definitely be getting more because I only have 2 in my collection at the moment. So once I put down as much color as I want, you can keep blending if you want it to be a darker color. Since this is my first layer, I didn't want it to be too dark, so I kept the color pretty pastel. But then I'll clean off my stencil with just a microfiber cloth, and I will remove that and then line up the next layer, which will color a different set of the flowers. So this stencil will color the main larger flowers, which in the image are the blue flowers, but I'll be going in with some deep pinks here. So same as before, I line up the stencil with my piece of paper, and then I have my pink ink, and I'm using a different blending brush. So I'm not using the one that I just used for the blue. I'm using a fresh one here. And I'll just go right over this like I did with the blue one. And again, you can see here how easy it is to color all of this stencil all at once. It took me 2 minutes to color every single spot with this blending brush. So I'm very impressed. And then I'm just going to keep going with each stencil. I believe there's 6 total. So I'll just kind of go through those kind of quickly so you can see all of the steps. So stencil number 3 colors in a third flower color. So I will be using a yellow from Pinkfresh Studio. I'll have all of the ink colors listed down below and linked to ScrapbookPal. All of the products that I'm using in today's video are available at ScrapbookPal.com. So be sure to check that out if you're interested in buying any of these items. So I'm using a 1/2 inch blending brush from Pinkfresh Studio for the smaller images. If I had more of those large Altenew brushes, I definitely would have been using those, but the smaller blending brushes work just as well, especially for the small images. Now for the green, I'm going in with Olive from Pinkfresh Studio, and this will color in all of the leaves in the image. There's only 1 layer for the leaves, and since there are so many little spots, I decided I was going to use the same blending brush that I used for the blue. Green and blue aren't that far apart on the color wheel is what I was figuring, so I wasn't too worried about the colors mixing. And I just didn't want to sit there with a tiny blending brush trying to fill in all of these spots. So just one layer for the leaves, and then once we stamp over this image, it will add more details for those. Now I'm on to the second layer of the flowers. All of the second layering for the blue and yellow flowers are on the same stencil, which I found really interesting because I don't want to color the second layer on those the same color. So I'm using some tape to just mask off those blue flowers so that I can only color in the yellow flowers here. So I have Peach Fuzz from Pinkfresh Studio and a 1/2-inch blending brush again. I'm just going over all of those small yellow flowers. The Peach Fuzz just adds a nice warm second shade to the yellow flowers. I would say with Pinkfresh Studio inks, it's better to go with a more contrasting color, so a deeper color for the second layer, just because Pinkfresh Studio inks really do dry back quite a lot. So if you want that shadow layer, or whatever you want to call it, to stand out more, I would say a deeper color would be better. If I did this again, I might have even gone a little bit darker than Peach Fuzz. So now I switched my masking tape over to the yellow flowers because now I want to do the second layer on the blue flowers. So I'm going in with a deeper blue shade, and again a 1/2-inch blending brush, and just going over those smaller areas for the blue flowers. And the last stencil is adding the details to the largest flowers. So in my case, it's the pink flowers. So I'm just going in with a pretty solid, true red color, knowing that I want the contrast to be pretty strong, or pretty high, I guess. So I'm just going over it just like I did with all the others with this red ink. Again, if I wanted to use the larger blending brush, that would have gone much faster. So you can see here the grand reveal, but I'm not actually happy with this yet. I wanted the pink flowers to be a little bit darker and a deeper pink. So I'm going back in with that large blending brush, and I'm adding just another layer of ink basically. And I think the first time I was worried about putting too much ink down. This time I'm not quite as worried about it. So I'm really applying some pressure with the blending brush, and I'm really getting in there with a lot of ink. So this just deepens the tone. And because I did this, it kind of made that second layer of ink, the more detailed stencil, kind of moot. Like you couldn't see that red stand out quite as much. So I actually went back in with more of a fuchsia color, a little bit of a purpler tone for this, and I just darkened that up too so that would stand out again. So that is all of my ink blending done. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I think they're super pretty. So now I'm going to go ahead and stamp the final details. So I'm putting this in my MISTI and I'm tucking it into the corner. The stamps are in two parts, so the bottom half and then the top half. So the entire piece of paper doesn't fit in my MISTI, but that's not a problem. I just lined up that second half there. And then I'm actually going in with some dark brown. The color is Espresso from Pinkfresh Studio. I like using a brown because it feels like less stark compared to using a black ink. I just think it feels a little bit more natural, I suppose. So I stamp that down, and I'm always impressed by how thin the lines are on these Pinkfresh Studio images. For some reason, I always get worried that the stamping is going to ruin the ink blending I just did, but it always just adds the perfect amount of detail, and it makes it look very dainty, and I'm really happy with it. So I stamped that twice just to make sure I got a solid image, and then I'm going to move the piece of paper down so that the top corner of the paper is in the corner of my MISTI, and I lined up that second stamp, which has all of the top half of images here. And then I'll just do that same process. So I'm still using the brown ink, and I'm stamping that down twice. And here are my flower images ready to be die cut out. I'm really happy with how these turned out. So I went ahead and just lined up the dies. It's really easy, and I ran that through my die cutting machine, and now I'm ready to start on the background of my card. So I used the notched corner frame dies from Pinkfresh Studio, and I cut out some vellum as well as a piece of white cardstock so that they would layer on top of each other. Now I have a card base, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, already folded and in my MISTI here, and I'm just stamping down my sentiment right in the center. The sentiment says, "Missing you, friend." I went back and forth with the sentiments in the stamp set because there's some beautiful scripty sentiments, but I wanted a more simple, smaller one for this card. Now I have my vellum piece, or my vellum frame, and I'm taking some foam tape and I'm cutting it in half because I want a very narrow strip to put on this vellum frame. I want the foam tape to be hidden behind the white frame that's going to be on top of the vellum. So I wanted to make sure that I have a narrow piece of foam tape for that so it's not sticking out anywhere. So I put that around all 4 sides of my frame, and then I stick that down to my card front. Now, sticking it down was not the easiest process because it stuck down before I wanted it to, and because vellum is so fragile, it did tear a little bit. I wasn't too worried about it because I knew that I could cover it up with the florals that I'm going to be adding last. So I just was trying to be more careful when I went to stick it down. And this didn't need to be perfect because there are going to be things layered on top. I really just want the effect of the vellum around the middle, like the inner side, just adding a layer to this card. So then for the white frame, I'm going to just use some liquid glue to put this onto the card front rather than using foam tape and popping it up and adding more dimension, which is definitely an option. So I'm using Barely Art's liquid glue, which I find is really great for just adding a small amount of glue where you want it. And I'm just putting that all the way around the frame, and then I'll stick it down. With such a large piece, to keep it stuck as the glue dries, I just I hold it down with my hands, but then I take my mini MISTI and lay that on top, and that will just make sure to apply even pressure all the way around it until the glue dries. So off screen, or off camera here, I laid out all of my flowers how I wanted them to be. That process often takes longer than I expect it to because I'm actually really picky when it comes to kind of the layout of things. So once I had it in a way that I was happy with, I am just gluing down the flowers with my liquid glue here. The flowers were really only sticking to that top white frame, although I'm putting glue all over the back of the flowers, just to make sure that I'm getting, a solid adherence. I didn't want to try to only put glue where the frame was because I was like, who knows where this flower will end up? I don't know. So once I have all my flowers glued down, I'm just using some large scissors here to cut off the excess. Honestly, this would have been easier with my paper trimmer, I think, just because there is that dimension, which makes it a bit tricky to get an even cut. So either use scissors or your paper trimmer to cut off the excess. And then I am pretty much done with the card. I just add some gold gems or gold pearls from Pinkfresh Studio for a final touch. And that will complete the card. So I love how this turned out. I think it's very vibrant and will bring a lot of joy to the recipient. So if you liked today's video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to the ScrapbookPal YouTube channel. There's always more crafting inspiration here all the time. So I hope to see you again soon. Bye.